I'm great. How are you doing this fine day
Good.
after daylight savings time Monday?
Ugh,
Throws
not very
everybody
good,
off.
actually.
Well,
Yeah, and I slept like two, so it's
uh,
like just all, I don't know if it comes with the territory or what, but it's
I think
crazy.
everybody's having that. Facebook's like all full of people complaining about daylight savings time.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for coming. I definitely am excited about talking to you today. Um, First thing I always start off with is just kind of talking with who I'm training and kind of seeing, what's your background, how long have you been with your company, how do you are you in sales, what kind of customers are you looking for, that sort of thing.
I I've been in the industry. I When I got out of college, I started working for Xerox. So I worked for
Nice,
Xerox for 14 years in supplies. So
awesome.
I sold supplies and paper and toner and custom products, and then they dissolved the entire supply organization and sold it to Domtar
Mm,
like 4 years ago, I think.
yeah.
I can't remember how long it's been now. So I've been, but I'm married to Earl.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, just so you kind of know like the relationship
Yeah,
here.
no,
But
that's great. That's why
um,
I asked those questions.
yeah, so yeah, 4 years ago I came here. So I'm kind of office manager, supplies manager,
Wear a lot of hats, right?
a lot of hats. Just
Awesome.
small business. It's so I'm kind of the one that talks to all the customers, not face to face, but over the phone every day,
Sure.
and
Mm-hmm.
place all the supply orders and do all the contracts and place, if I schedule all the service calls and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like a, yeah, we wear multiple, everyone wears multiple hats here, but I
Absolutely.
kind of do all that stuff. So
I feel you. I do the same thing over here.
yeah.
Well, you're going to love this. I think this is really going to help you as far as with supplies, and it's going to be one of those kind of tools that it's. I saw Earl on LinkedIn. He was doing his videos, and I thought that was really
Oh,
dynamic.
you did?
Yep.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. And so I was like, this
He
guy's
loves
really
that
cool.
thing.
Oh yeah, and it's cool. It's dynamic. It's a marketing tool. It's a great way to get your name out there, and
Yeah.
he's doing a good job at it.
Yeah.
And so I was
He's
like,
really
well, this
enjoying it.
guy's dynamic, and so I just want to reach out to him. We have a product that not a lot of people know about, but we've been doing this for 14 years now, helping
Okay.
people sell ink and toner. We developed it a long time ago. My father and I started out with a brick and mortar ink and toner business. He actually had a pharmacy in Austin, Texas, and
Okay.
he wanted to bring in another revenue stream. And so he thought inkjet refilling would be good. He brought that in. I was doing marketing advertising at the time and was kind of at the ceiling of where I was going to go with that kind of career. And he said, hey, if you come over and work with me on this ink and toner thing, it could be yours one day. And, we can just see what we can make of it. And so I went over there for kind of a fresh start, a new
Like a,
change.
yeah.
Yeah, and we started working together, and obviously, as we started getting more customers, we were just dealing with walk-in customers that were from the pharmacy at first. But then, when we started branching out, we started doing toner and everything. We decided, and then we were remanufacturing everything ourselves. So it was back in the heyday of all that. Um,
Right.
and so we got to the point where we were going to sell online and have more business customers. And so we were decided, obviously, we need a website and we need sort of e-commerce. And unfortunately, fortunately, my dad is really old school. He was a stockbroker for a long time, and in real estate, and a pharmacist, and all this kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So he really believed that taking care of the customer and being very customer centric is the key to everything in business. And I, agree with that. And so when we were looking at e-commerce, he was like, "This is really unpersonal. This is just kind of boring. Everybody has it. It doesn't make us different than anybody else. Doesn't make us stand
Right.
out." And he goes, so I want to do something different. I really want to look from the customer side and make it so easy for the customer to order that they're going to stay with us, just because of the ease of use.
Uh-huh.
Because with a traditional website, I mean, obviously you have to SEO, you have to get people to the website, which is a task all in its own. And then from there, they have to, fill out an account, and then they have to find their products, and it's just asking a lot of the customer to do before you even have a business working relationship with them.
Yeah.
And so what we decided to do is look at the customer from their side and take everything away from them, any hurdle they could possibly have, and just let them order from us. And by doing that, we would have something that's better than everybody else. And so we developed EasyOrder, and 14 years later, we're still doing it. And that principle of keeping it simple and keeping it easy and being the most convenient way to order out there is still, ruling and working in this industry. So that's kind of what EasyOrder is. I know you signed up for your account, and you got a welcome email, but I'm just going to go over the basics of how to
Okay.
get it. So cartridgereorder.com is our URL to log in. That's the only thing you probably need to write down is just cartridgereorder.com. You got a welcome email, and it had your username, which is Elite Document Solutions, and then there was a password with that. You can always change that password if you want to.
Okay.
But that's how you get into the system, and that's how you'll get here. This is the control panel for EasyOrder. And so there are two parts really to EasyOrder. There's a lot of it in EasyOrder because EasyOrder is not just a order intake system or a website. It really is a marketing tool to get you out there. One, it creates that stickiness with your customers that not a lot of things do. It makes sure that they reorder from you, all the time. And two, it can get you new customers because of some of the features that we have in the quoting aspect of it too. So I'm going to start off with like maybe your existing customers, how to get them into the system, how to get them ordering, and then we'll go on to quotes where you're talking about new business and how to respond to the request for quote.
Okay.
So the first thing, everything's usually all here in the control panel. This is where you're going to start off. Manage customers is where we're going to start adding a new customer. All the action buttons are at the top here. So if you ever need to do anything, just look to the top. It'll have everything you kind of need to do. And if you're not sure of what something is, just hover over it. We always try to give an explanation of what that item does, sort of when you mouse over it. So I'm just going to click on new here, and that's going to create a new customer. Now, I'm sure she's told you, but we're working on getting that TransDev North America client with you guys. And so I've set up a different account. You guys actually have two EasyOrder accounts because that account needed to be branded to TransDev. But in this case, you can set up one customer with one location, or you can set up one customer that has many locations. And I'll show you how to do that here in a sec. So I'm going to call this Cats Demo Co. And the first options here are just kind of how you want to show the customer, the system. The one thing that you really need to check out is here, you can lock order forms if you have special pricing on the order form. So the first thing that sets EasyOrder apart is with e-commerce, you have a price for a product and you show it online to everybody, and you sort of live and die by that price. You can't, if you don't charge that customer that price, then you're in trouble. And with EasyOrder, it's a closed ordering system, so nobody else has access to the customer's order form except your customer. So all you can do is, one product doesn't have to be the same price for everybody. You can give customers a special deal or, volume discount or anything like that, and they're not going to be able to shop that against anybody else because nobody's going to be able to see their pricing but the customer. So your competition can't come in and kind of see what you're charging this particular customer because it's closed off to them. So if you bid for school or government business, you can click yes to this, and that'll lock the order form. So it won't update the order form when you do updates if it has special prices on it. The rest of it's just kind of basic stuff. Counting, way, drive. I can't type today. We're in Austin, Texas, if you're wondering where we're at.
Okay.
And so all you have to do is fill out that information for the customer, click on save, and that's going to save the basic customer information. Now, there's a difference between a customer, which is Cat's Demo Company, and an order form, which is a location. A customer could have many locations in their account. For example, the TransDev is going to have possibly 90 locations, and so that's the difference between the customer name and then the location name. So the location name, this could be the Austin branch. You could have Dallas, you could have Houston, whatever the city is. It could be a store number, any of that kind of stuff. And then I'm just going to call this Cats Demo. I think I've used that a number of times. And then the password we provide, just know that that's a really secure password. And you don't really have to change it unless you want to, but the customer is really never going to see their username and password, and so you're probably not going to have to worry about it. So we give you a pretty secure password. I'm going to put myself in as the customer. Okay, and then a phone number, blah, 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 whatever that is. And then the first thing that is another thing that sets us apart from just an ordering system is we have order frequency reminders. So a lot of times when I was in business, I would look at an old invoice from forever ago that'd be on my desk somewhere, and I'd be like, oh, Cat's Demo Co. I haven't heard from them in about 6 months. And then when I go to check on them, they're already buying from somewhere else if I haven't heard from them in 6 months. And so what this does, it gives you a reminder when the customer reaches that threshold that you set here, and they haven't ordered in a certain number of days.
Oh, so that sends me the reminder, not the customer.
It can do both, actually, if you choose to. It starts off sending just you the reminder, and then there's a way to go into our marketing tools and have it send a thing to the customer as well, so it follows up with them for you. And so that keeps you in front of the customer in a way that like not most ordering systems do. So you have that. If you have sales reps and you want to add sales reps to the system, they can actually get into EasyOrder with sales rep accounts. And as they're building order forms and creating quotes and stuff like that, you can, they're not seeing the rest of your customer list, and you can run commission reports on them if you have salespeople. You can do that. The tax rate is set per customer per order form. So if you're a school or a government, it could be 0. If it's not, it'll bring the default tax rate that you have into there, which I can show you where to set later. These discount prices are discounts off your already low prices. I just want to stress that some people think that that's how you set your price on the order form, and that's not the case. It's if you want to give somebody a 5 or 10% discount off your already low 30% off probably retail prices, then you can set that there.
Okay.
A lot of people, we work with a lot of cartridge worlds and a lot of stores like that. So a lot of people do delivery and shipping for free. And a lot of people do it for really small items that don't really qualify for it. And so this helps you upsell the customer to where it's kind of worth getting that free shipping. So the free shipping minimum, let's say delivery and shipping is $7. The free shipping minimum you can put in there at like $75. That way, when they're checking out, it will actually, say at the bottom, you get free shipping at $75. And when they go to check out with less than $75, it will actually pop up a reminder saying, oh, you have less than the required amount to get free shipping. Please add more to get free shipping, or you can continue. And it just helps them upsell to where they don't ever want to pay that shipping cost. And so it helps them get enough.
Yeah, they'll add another cartridge or something.
Where they will. Okay. In cases like the trans dev, where you have lots of locations, we have a really robust approval system where the locations can order and then somebody above at purchasing can approve the orders. This is just a feature that says I only want to approve orders over a certain dollar amount. So if you go to like a school or a government thing and they're like, well, I only want to know if the teachers go crazy and order a lot for the computer lab, you could put this on the account and then it would only trigger a approval notification if it went over a certain dollar amount. So that's what that feature is right here. This is just basically how the order forms are shown to the customer. Keep them all yes. You can put special notes here that the customer doesn't see for your staff and everybody else. And then here's the shipping information, and you can copy that down to billing. Or if you want to use the previous customer corporate billing, you can use the customer billing from the corporate, and it'll go there. We also have credit card processing available, which I highly recommend because anybody ordering, you don't have to chase around for their bills. If you want more information about that, I can give you that later.
Okay.
So that's how you set up a customer. It seemed like it took a lot because I explained every field, but it really doesn't take a lot. You're going through it. I'll click save. And here's where we get to the fun part, building their order form. Now, we have this database that we've had in EasyOrder for 14 years that we work on every day. We add to it, we tighten it up, and because we're in the industry and we're not just software people, we're ink and toner people, I feel like our database is a lot stronger than almost any e-commerce database I've ever seen. A lot of those find your toner things are really hard to work with because they're really not set up to find it in the correct way. And so our stuff is really easy to use. Just click on new and our database pops up. Now, from here you have 3 or 4 product categories. It's Reman, OEM, other, and custom. Obviously, Reman's anything aftermarket, OEM's brand new, and other could be considered compatible if you wanted to use a third category. Most people just use Reman or OEM as aftermarket or brand new. You can also use custom products, and I talked to Earl about this. You can put printers on an order form. You can put copiers on an order form. He requested he requested that on the trans dev that we actually put them purchasing a leased item on there at a certain dollar amount, which I'll show you here in a minute. I can show you right now. So this is a good example of a custom product. So here's the transdev account, and here's like a printer lease for this particular printer. It's at $150, and so if you order this, it'll indicate that you want to order this at $150 a month. And once they order this, you take this off and you actually add this particular printer, this Kia Ceramita. You add that to the order form once they order this, but this gives them the ability to order it, and that these two are custom products.
Okay.
You know, you could sell paper, office supplies, anything through custom products. So I'm going to select Reman, then I'm going to select the manufacturer. If you notice, we don't have like all the crazy manufacturers, really just kind of the bulk of what people sell. Yeah, not all the crazy stuff. We could add anything you want to the system. If there's something that's not in our system that you particularly need, just let us know.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. The basics, yeah.
Yeah, and so you can order here or you can add here by printer or by cartridge. Now, a lot of people are used to adding by cartridge, but we really suggest you add by printer, because if you find the printer, you can get the whole list of supplies in one shot versus adding 8 different ink and toner and drums and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So you just look up the printer, and I personally don't like drop down, so we built like a Google type search where you just kind of type in the model number of what you're looking for. Don't worry about color laserjet or business inkjet. Just start typing in the model number and you'll find more stuff quickly, and you won't have to go through like huge drop downs. So you pick your printer, and then all the cartridges and parts come up. Notice we have the black, the dual pack black, we have the cyan yellow, the Genta, the fuser, the transfer roller. These are actually the Xerox branded compatibles that go with that machine. We even have in there. So you just select what you want to show to the customer and click save. And now here you can adjust some of the pricing and different things. We have a worksheet in the downloads folder, and it's a PDF that the customer can just open up and then click right in and start typing, and they can save it and send it right back to you. And it basically just asks them who uses this printer, or what do you call it, what department is it in, and what's the make and model of the printer. And so based off that form, you can get back from your customer. You'll have everything you need to set up EasyOrder in the most customized way possible. So for example, if this is the color copier, in the office, or maybe it's Kat's printer. Can't type. And you put that in the sales department. If you do this kind of stuff and you really customize it for the customer, it really gives them that unique experience to where they don't have to even remember like the model numbers or the printer even. They can just go, hey, Kat's printer needs a yellow one, and they can order in that way. And so it really cuts down on people giving you, bogus numbers, even if they give you this number and they really mean this number, which has happened to me before. It really cuts down on customer order intake error, because they're looking at the color, they're finding the printer, and they know exactly what they're going for. So it really eliminates that giving me the wrong number order intake error. Customers love it because they don't have to sit there and write a bunch of numbers down and get an email together every time they need to order. It's all just right there for them. At this point, the prices can be changed. So if you're wondering where we get this retail price, we've actually built, and for the lack of a better term, a scraper that goes out to Staples' website every week and scrapes the newest retail price that Staples has. If it's changed, if it hadn't changed, it won't update it. So you'll know that a lot of it really helps out, because before we would do it quarterly and some things would get missed. And so this makes sure everything's done. It works for about 90% of our products. There are some things obviously in our system that Staples doesn't sell. And if they don't sell it, obviously we can't link it to them.
Right.
So that's where this is coming from. If you're wondering where this price is coming from, this is not what we suggest you sell it for or anything like that. It's just a simple 30% off of this price as a baseline for you to look at as you're adding products. So that's what that price came from. Here you can obviously change your prices to whatever you want to sell it for. And
so that price is going to be what they see.
Yes, that price is going to be what they see on their particular order form. And you can change the prices for here. There is a way to put the cost and the yield and the SKU in there if you want to. There's actually, this is acting a little weird this morning, but this should be a checkbox. I'll check on seeing why that's looking like that. But if you check the checkbox, it'll actually set the price in the system permanently for you. So you don't ever have to price this product again. Every time it comes, it will be set globally.
Oh, gotcha.
Excuse me. So I'm going to click save here, and that's going to save our first item to the order form. Oh, it's because I'm logged in at both sites. That's what it's doing, is getting confused. Let me go back. It's because I opened the transdev and I was logged
Oh,
in
no, it's
as
fine.
well. So it
Oh, there we go.
just kind of freaked out a little bit. Manage customers, order forms, and edit the order form. Okay, cool. I'll just add the 2600 again. Reman HP 2600. I'll add those back. All right, cool. So there's that global checkbox that I was talking about.
Oh, gotcha.
And so if you check these, it'll make that your permanent price in the system. So that way you, as you're building the order forms, you can kind of be pricing products in your system so you don't have to do it in a big, in a huge way. So I'm gonna
now,
click
even if I check that and then I'm in a particular customer's order form, or when I'm, uploading it, can I change that price even if it's checked later?
Yes, you can change that price. Anytime you check that global, it'll change the price again for you. And any customer that has an unlocked order form, it will also change the price for them.
Okay.
So it'll actually allow you to update, everybody's. If a price changes and you want to, change it once, it'll change it for everybody who has that. So I'm going to add another printer just to have a decent looking order form. This will be the OfficeJet Pro. And so here I'll just select the normal colors that go with that. And I'll call this color copier. I'll save that. Okay, so now that we have a couple items on the order form, there you can just maintenance mode. You can drag and drop these things around if you want to, change the order. You can edit the item if you want to change the price, delete it if you made a mistake. A neat feature that we put in here, we actually built this for Cartridge World. They have a thing called the Why Buy a Printer program, and where they basically give the customer a printer and then make them pay for the toner for 2 years. And so with it, they have to track leases, which I believe you guys do a lot of lease tracking as well.
For the larger, floor models. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so you can actually put those floor models like on an order form and then set a lease date. So you can pop that out 2 years down the road, however long you want to set the lease. And then EasyOrder will remind you when that lease is coming up. So rather than you having to keep track of a bunch of different dates on a spreadsheet, EasyOrder will kind of keep track of that for you. So if you wanted to use that, you absolutely can. A lot of people would edit this and then put the serial number for that printer next to the name, so you know exactly which, machine you're talking about right there.
Okay.
So now we have an order form. We're going to get this to the customer. So I'm going to click mail, and that's going to send the welcome email out to the customer, which is me. And so I will get it from my email, which it just took it into a different folder. Come on, email. I have this like spam filter on my email system, so it takes it out of my email and puts it in different folders. Okay, so so the welcome email looks like this. It says, greetings, Kat, with Kat's Demo Co. Welcome to EasyOrder. And then it has a couple of different links on here that we want the customer to look at. So being an admin, I want to show you this kind of in a different way than the customer would read it. But this is the first thing we want them to do. So when you talk to the customer, say, just click on this link and watch the video. And the video takes them like literally from this screen that they're looking at the email, and it takes them through what we're about to do, which is downloading the desktop icon, getting into their order form, and then placing the order. So you don't really have to do anything other than say, look at this video and then follow the instructions. The other thing, just because you're an admin, I want you to see is we also give them a way to manually log in. So if everything fails, the computer, we've had people with Windows 95 try to use the system, and so if they're running really old stuff, maybe they can't get in the desktop icon way. So this is the manual login. If you click this link and then add the username and password, you'll be able to get in 100% of the time.
Okay.
So what we really want them to do, and that's why I put it so big right here, is we just want them to click on this link and download their personal desktop icon. So if you click on this link, it actually opens a web browser, logs them in. If you can see, we're logged in right here to the order form.
Oh, cool.
And it takes them to the download icon page. Now, we have two icons on here. One is just a simple bookmark. And so if the customer is ever concerned about, will this harm my computer? I don't like to download anything. Just say, have you ever put a bookmark to a page you go to frequently on your computer anywhere? And they'll say, oh, yeah, I've done that. Well, this is all that is. It's just a bookmark. You don't have to worry about anything. It's not software. It's not anything. The logo icon, we actually, and I haven't done your branding yet, but we can make EasyOrder look and feel just like your website in the header and footer in this area right here. And we can, we can give it like this kind of treatment and your logo and everything. So when the customers are interacting with it, it feels just like your website. And so since you guys have this cool like power button kind of icon there for your E, we can actually
That would be kind of cool right there, yeah.
Yeah, we can put that as your desktop icon. So when the customers see your brand on their desktop, they know that they're ordering ink from, Elite Document Solutions. And it really does kind of solidify your brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is the logo icon. So it's just a bookmark just like this, but we do have to install a little bit of software just to put that graphic over the icon. And so that's all it does. It's really not much more than a bookmark, but you do have to click on it and run it like a program and allow it to go do its thing, and then it'll put your icon on it. So whichever way, you just want to get the icon on the desktop, but obviously if you can get this one on, it's much better for you because it promotes your brand and your business. So I'm going to download both icons here so you can see what they look like and see how they install and everything. So I'm going to go to my desktop here, and if the customer actually ever says, hey, I had nothing downloaded to my desktop, I didn't see anything, all you have to do is tell them that most times their default area to download things is set to downloads, and so if it doesn't show up on their desktop, it's in their downloads folder.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Let me make sure I downloaded that to the right spot. Yeah, I went to downloads, desktop. There you go, save. And save. Okay, so.
Oh, gotcha. I see it. Okay.
Yep. So here's the bookmark icon, and this is the logo icon. Now that's our default logo icon, but obviously it'll be your red, E power symbol once we have it going on. And so to use the icon, it's very simple. The bookmark icon even more so. You just click on the icon, click on open, and they're literally looking at their order form. So no website to open up, no browser to open up, no website address to type in, no username, no password. We've taken all that away from the customer. They don't even have to put their printers in. You've done that work for them.
Okay, so this is what automatically comes up when they click on the, okay.
Exactly. That order form that we created just a minute ago, this is what pops up. And you can see how quick it is. So when the customer clicks on that, they're instantly into their order form, and then just go, okay, the color copier needs a black one and maybe a full set of cartridges. And maybe I just need a black one for this. And I'm going to review the order. Everything looks good. Okay. And then I'll just submit the order. So you can see here that the customer now can order ink and toner from you in less than 30 seconds if they know where their stuff is at. And you've now become the easiest way to order ink and toner that's been presented to them. And so that's the convenience of EasyOrder, that a customer can go on, order their products, and go on about their day without having to get an email together, without having to get lists of numbers together that they don't really understand. They don't really want to call you. They just want to get their order done. And this is the easiest way to order ink and toner. We call it a VIP service because we want it to feel special to the customer. This is a premium VIP service that we do for you. We do all the work. All you have to do is order. And if you present it like that to your customers, they really get it. And so that's the kind of power of the desktop icon. Also, they're connected to you in a way that you cannot be without EasyOrder, because they don't have to remember your phone number, your email address. They don't have to keep a business card around. They don't have to keep your quote laying around. All they have to do is get this on their desktop, and now they're connected to you. They can send a communication to you. They can place an order, everything from the desktop. So it really is easy. The logo icon, all you have to do to install that is just click on it. We're not a registered publisher from Microsoft, so that's all it says. You just click run anyway, and that's that's in our instructions to the customer as well. And then you basically just allow it to run and click install. And so here's the icon, and it opens up the order form immediately.
Oh, same thing. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Here it is. So this would be your icon now, and this would be the custom one to create for you. And so now this is sitting on the customer's desktop. The power of this is your brand sitting on your customer's desktop, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, and they see it in the periphery even if they're not looking at it. And it just establishes that you are their vendor for ink and toner because they have something on their desktop, So this is even easier. Once you click on it, it just pops it right in. You don't have to click on anything else, and it's just right at the order form. So any
I like that they
questions?
don't even have to log in or anything.
That's really been the success
I
of
mean?
it, because people forget
Yeah.
passwords. They forget their login.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, you want to do everything you can to keep yourself sticky with your customer, because if you can give them this value-added convenience of just being super easy, we found that, once you get a customer on with Icon, 90% reorder rate from the very first time that they have it on their desktop, and then after that, they're not going to go anywhere else, because they just like the fact that they can jump on and order and there's no problems. They don't have to worry about anything.
Oh yeah, I mean, because we used to have the service on our old website, so you could
Mhm.
log in to your account
And have a
from
favorites
our old
list.
website. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, and have kind of like a favorites list.
Yeah, I had to actually. I can't remember if I did. This is so long ago. It's like, did I have to specifically? I think I had to pick certain products for every person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then they could go in and just order, because sometimes they'd call and say, oh, can you add this to my order form? So they
Yeah.
couldn't like look up any additional things unless I added to the
Yeah.
list.
We actually give them the ability to do that from here. They can click on modify.
Oh, that's great. Oh, and then they can look up an item?
Yep. So if they added
cool.
a printer or added
Yeah.
a cartridge or didn't tell you about one and they need it, now they can go in there and add right from there. So
yeah, that helps, because I'd get like calls like, oh, and then our new website we don't have, so that's why this is such a great process for us.
Yeah, I think it'll really work well for you
that.
guys on a lot of fronts too. And I'll show you a couple other things I noticed on your website that we can help you out with as well. Okay, so that's the kind of front part of EasyOrder. That's the customer, that's the desktop icon, that's the real meat and potatoes of what we do. When you set people up, it's a lot of rinse and repeat. So it's a lot of the same steps, just with the different customers. It's the same process though, so it's pretty easy. So I'm going to log out of this customer, and now we're going to talk about getting new business with EasyOrder and how you can respond.
Oh, I got the email with the order.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I just wanted to look at it real quick to see.
Yeah, I should have gone over that with you. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I figured it out.
Yeah. If you look at the bottom of that email, though, there's a cool feature called delivery by department. And what that does is give customers, once you ship them a box of toner or whatever, and they keep that order confirmation, it will tell them, what department ordered that, what printer it was, how many of which cartridge. And so it really helps them get everything back to where it needs to go with that delivery by department feature at the bottom.
All right, cool.
Okay, so the next part is quotes. And quotes are very similar to order forms as far as how they work, except for you need a lot less information to do a quote than to start an order form. So you start off with the company name. I'm going to call this Cat Demo Kogan.
So this is me sending a quote to a customer?
Yeah, this would be you kind of getting prospective customer quote. I'm just setting myself up again so I can get the email. So that's all you need. You need company name, contact information. I'd say you could put the phone number, but you definitely need the email address, because we're going to email this to the customer as well. And so all you do, just like before, is you add an item. Really easy. Here's the Reman HP printers. We'll do the same 2600. And I'll add those in. And when you click save, you can do the same thing by putting your price in and everything like that. And so now the info is at the bottom of the quote. You can see that. I'm going to go ahead and select preview, which is going to show you what the quote's going to look like when you email it to the customer. So again, your branding will be all up here. It'll have your information over here, the customer's information. Thank you for your quote. One of the biggest issues with quoting was it just took a long time to put together a nice looking quote. I would come home from like a day's worth of networking and knocking on doors and things like that. And putting a quote together was just a lot of looking things up and copying and pasting things, and it just took a long time.
Worst sometimes.
Yeah, it's the worst, and you don't really want to do it. And so when you get in here, it's just so easy. You saw I quickly added that printer. All my pricing is there. I can quickly adjust it, and you can respond to a quote within 24 hours for the most part. And obviously, the quicker you respond to the quote, the more apt you are to get that business, because the longer you. I've had some people be like, "Well, I respond within 5 or 6 days." I'm like, "Whoa, that's way too long. You have to respond as quickly as possible." But the thing that sets our quote apart from everything else, and this was really a big deal for me in creating this, was that I wanted something that helped you get further along down the sales path than just going, "Well, here's my quote." When you do that, you're making the customer keep your quote around, keep your phone number around. When they need something, they have to find that quote. They have to call you or email you, and then they have to, say, okay, I want to order now. And that's just way too much to rely on the customer to do. And so we've changed the quote game up. So when you quote a customer, we suggest that you set a time to call them and say, hey, I'd like to go over the quote that I have prepared with you. And they go, okay, call me at this time. You send it right as you're about to call them, so it's fresh in their inbox. And then basically once you get done showing them how much you're going to save them, instead of going, hey, well, okay, call me when you need anything, which is not really a strong way to end a sales call, now you can say, okay, let me show you how to order from me. And that's really not, that's not saying you must order from me now. That's not hitting them over the head. That's not, call me if you need anything. It's just, hey, let me show you how to order from us. When you need something, I want you to know how to order from us. And so you can look at this. Don't forget, you can place an order right from this quote. Click Show Order Form to create your online order form. So when they're looking at this in their email and they click this button from a PDF, which is what they're looking at, this will actually open this up, open up a web browser, convert this quote that we're looking at into an order form, and they'll be looking at something like this.
Okay.
So now instead of saying, well, whenever you need something, remember all this stuff, and then you can contact me, and then you can order, now you're saying, well, let me show you how to order from us.
The link is right on the quote.
Yeah,
right?
and then yep.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh no, so if they just have to find that because it's going to be on the email I send, right?
Yeah, it'll be in the quote. They open up the PDF, okay, and you're going over the PDF with them. And I want you to try to get the customer to click on that show order form, button, because if you're here and they click on this, they convert that quote into a working order form. They now get sent the welcome email, which allows them to download a desktop icon, and then you can show them how to get the desktop icon on their desktop. So when they need to get back to the quote, they don't have to remember anything. They just click on the desktop icon, and they're back to their quote, and they can place an order from it. So now, instead of just handing them a quote, they have a working order form in your system. They have an icon on their desktop, and they're linked to you with that icon. So now when they need anything, they're more likely to click on that icon and to just place an order with you than they would if you had just handed them a quote. When we did this, we did this with Cartridge World in a
I was going to say, if you did a study on it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
People like immediate, yes.
Yes, absolutely. Like to order right away, and they don't want to be, if you can provide them that professionalism of having something like this and having a process in place to make their lives easier, they will reward you with their order for sure. We found that with Cartridge World's closure rates went up about 30% after implementing this and me teaching them how to do this, and do this with every quote, get it going, and you'll close, a lot more quotes. Okay. So
I think this is going to be great for us because we have not focused any of our time, actually, I would say, minimal time towards cartridges, like toner.
Yeah.
We had a lot more toner customers, I would say, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then we've just really trying to be, of course, your focus starts going to, towards equipment more, and that's where every, the salespeople and stuff like that have focused. And I don't know if we've necessarily lost a lot of this, because toner cut, it's like people go everywhere for that stuff. It's so easy to get them back. It's so easy to lose them. If they find it one time cheaper somewhere, they'll just order from that time. But I think just even calling our current customers, all of them, and saying, hey, we have this great new ordering process, is another reason to call them back.
Absolutely. It's kind of like leaving money on the table. If you sell the machines, might as well sell the equipment. Especially if you have the capability and the vendors and everything in place.
Right.
To do it. Earl was mentioning you do sell, equipment to some people, but he was also saying, y'all have not focused on that. So I totally agree with you.
Oh, yeah.
This would be great.
There's no reason if we sold, because we look at, especially if they're on our print audit system, we can see all their printers that they have. There's no reason if we sell a lease for a large copier that we don't have their HP desktop business, like toner business.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So I think this is going to be, everyone needs a reason to call the customer again.
Yeah, absolutely.
People look for that thing. So anyway.
For sure. Okay, so that is the quote side of everything. Any questions on that before I move on?
No, you can go on. That's good.
Awesome.
Yep.
So now we want to talk about your website and how we can help parts of your website, especially like the request quote. I know your request quote also deals with some machines, and so you may have one for request a quote on a copier and then request a quote for supplies maybe. But if you have a request quote for supplies, we actually have a really cool tool. Now I know everything's been about do everything for the customer so they don't have to do anything. But we also have things where the customer can do stuff for themselves without talking to you, because there's two sides of every coin, and some people just want to get in, get their stuff done, not talk to anybody, and see if they can, buy.
Yeah, that's probably more than half people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so we have the other side of it where the customer can kind of do their own thing. Now, we can replace, not replace, but we can take a button like this, and then instead of going to wherever it goes to, you can have it go to our link, which will again be branded to your business. And so the customer thinks it's, part of your website. And what this is, it's not only a quote system, this is a lead capture system. And so when a customer comes here, obviously when you see a normal quote form, like when you look at something like the quote form here, it's just, there's a lot to click through, there's a lot to get in, and then there's a lot of stuff to fill out, which is fine, for equipment and machines. But for a quote, the customer just really wants to kind of get in there, see your prices, and see if they want to do business with you and kind of move on. And so we've created a much simpler quote method to where all they have to do is put their contact name, the company name, email address, and phone number. And when they put this basic stuff in and they click Get Started, it will then take them to that page, kind of like where I modified the order form. It says Add by Printer or Add by Cartridge.
Yeah.
It'll give them that, field. But what it will do is it will take this information and then insert it as a new quote into your quote system, and then indicate that it's been created by a user online. And so you'll have a fresh quote that you never did, that you never touched, and it's a new quote in your quote system. You can look at that quote, and if the customer has gone past here and they've actually put machines in, then you'll get the fact that they added items to their quote. If you haven't priced the items on the quote, they will see checking for price, and you'll have to look at that quote, edit it, make sure you price those items, and then send the quote back to the customer. There's also another way we can do it without having to deal with that, what I'll show you in a minute. But what this does is it captures their information. So even if they don't go past here, because a lot of people won't fill out a form, but they will give this information up front. And so it gives you a hot lead from somebody who kind of wanted to get a quote from you, but they didn't finish. So whether they didn't finish because they went to lunch or they didn't have the information right now, but it captures their lead so that you can call them back and say, hey, I noticed you started an online quote with us. Can I help you finish it? Just give me your list of inventory. And so it captures that lead information off your website. So even if the customer doesn't really finish a quote, you can still contact them and help them finish the quote.
So basically, if we run this from our website, they wouldn't have to check all those other boxes underneath. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
If you go back to
your stuff has a little bit more machine-related stuff in the quote. So I mean, these kind of things aren't necessarily talking about a cartridge. You're actually getting a quote for a machine. But if you wanted a quote for ink and toner, then they don't have to fill all this stuff out. They can just use our quote system.
So that's something that we might have to build with our website company then, like another option, or
another option.
I don't know.
Because maybe you can have request a quote on a machine and then request a quote for supplies. I'm not sure how you want to do it, and it's again.
Yeah, I'd have to ask Earl what he wants to. Yeah, that's something. Yeah, that Earl would have to decide on whether or not.
Yeah, it's totally up to you, but just know we have that functionality. So if people want to come to your website and they want to get a quote for supplies, they can do it through EasyOrder, and it's super easy, just like I showed you. And it's also a lead capture for you. The other thing is if you add another button to your site talking about your account login sort of thing, that you can link it to this page where the customer can log into their EasyOrder to order supplies. If they're a new customer and they've never dealt with you before, they can actually create their own account, add their own printers, and have an account with you. So it allows the customer to do all the building. Obviously this stuff is letting the customer do all the work, which kind of goes against our basic principles, but you will have customers who want to work with it in this way, and you will have customers that will want you to do it all for them and have the kind of the VIP experience. So we kind of give you both so you can, have whatever you need for the customer for that.
Okay. Can you hold on for one second for me? There's a call.
No worries.
Dina just has a question for me.
No worries.
What's up? All right. Okay, I'm back now.
No worries. We're almost done anyway. I know you got to get to everything else. Just real quick, we do have a professionally done demo video that allows you to show this to your customers. So if you guys want to do like a news blast with all your customers and say, hey, we have this great new online ordering system, this is the video that can kind of explain what it is. So it's all animated, super professional, and it basically just talks to them how, we're going to do the work for you. You don't have to lift a finger, super VIP, goes over the welcome email. has the order form. And so it just really kind of shows the customer that, you know,
how easy it is.
How easy it is and how awesome this is going to be for them. And then they just say, you know, contact us to get your free account set up. And so a lot of people will put this in their email signature, you know, check out our new online ordering system, watch this video, ask me how to get your free account, you know, whatever you want to do. Social media, if you want to put this on your, you know, Facebook or LinkedIn or anything, you can add this to it, and the customers will know that you offer this as well.
Okay.
So that's really all I wanted to show you today. That's kind of to get you enough to get started. The other thing I do want to show you, though, is the trans dev. Are we supposed to have a meeting with them today? He mentioned that he would like to.
Oh, I don't think it's today, because I asked Earl yesterday, because I told him, I just reminded him that I had the call with you, and I said that you had stated, you know, unless it conflicted with trans dev, and he said no, we're not doing that Monday, so I don't know. It's not today. So
yeah, no worries. I just want to show you what I've done sort of for them, or for you guys. So I had to create a separate account because they wanted to have their own branding on it, and so we have a different account. It's powered by Elite, but it's you know, trans dev. And then for them, he just wanted a way to show them that y'all could handle them with this system. And so I set up kind of a demo that shows 8 order forms here with different locations.
For locations.
Okay. And then so yeah, we can handle all this here. If you look at the order form, they're all the same. They're using the printers he told me about, and then the 2 lease options for that, so we can show them that. And then more importantly, we can show them the central purchasing feature. So I'll go here to purchasers, and here's the central purchaser for TransDev. And so you can see we can list all the locations for TransDev and then set it to a level 1 purchasing. So this person at TransDev would get a notification every time any one of these locations ordered, and then they would approve the order, and then it would come to you as approved. It also comes to you when they just place the order, so you have a heads up on what they're looking for.
But then we'd also get the approval.
And then you get the approved email, and then you know it's okay to ship that out to that location.
Okay. Now on that approved email, or on the approval email, does it send the order again?
It does, and it'll just say approved at the top. So it'll say status submitted when it's just submitted, and then when it's approved in all bold black letters at the top, approved. And so you'll know that that's order approved. So you can handle, you know, 90 locations, 100 locations, you know, as many as you want with this system for this particular customer.
I feel like some things are just kind of meant to be. It's like if we actually get this business, you know, we would have had to come up with a way of, you know, doing all these orders for all these multiple locations. So I feel like it's like, you know, kind of all perfect timing for all of us, I guess, you know.
And if you wouldn't have been making those videos, I never would have seen him. Whenever you're
you're going to see a lot more, because he really enjoys doing that stuff. So that's
good stuff.
Yeah, he's.
We can even maybe work out a thing to where for your second account for this TransDev, I can give you guys a substantial discount on the account to maybe have him do a video about EasyOrder and tell people about EasyOrder on LinkedIn. Who knows?
He would probably definitely do that.
Awesome. Well, cool. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time today.
No problem. I appreciate it.
Get into your accounts. If you have any questions, you can always start a support ticket here if you want, you know, a question about the system. I answer the phones on Tuesdays and Thursdays just because I like to keep, you know, talking to my people and make sure that I'm always available. So you can always call me anytime and ask questions. Our other support rep, Deb, is really awesome. She helps out with everything too. So if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. I would suggest that you first start off with, you know, some of your best customers and just introduce this. Maybe send them the demo video and say, hey, we have this new system now. I want to try to set this up with you and see how you like it. And then set up, you know, 4 or 5 of your best.
So I can set somebody up now.
Yep. With that login that you have, you can just log in right here. I'm going to work on your graphics. Is something like this kind of what you're looking for? Just the white.
Yeah, that logo is perfect. Yep.
Any of this stuff on there, like phone number, email address?
Not that email. Don't use that email.
Okay. So I'm
that email or put mine or something. Maybe just put mine, because the info I think only goes to Earl now. I used to get it, but I feel like it'll get lost.
I can just leave it off. I just wanted to know if you wanted to add any kind of additional stuff, because this stuff is graphics. so it's not like you can change it and it automatically changes. It'll have to be done like in Photoshop and stuff. So
Okay.
if you want the
Yeah, at least that logo, the whole logo with the power sign and Elite Document Solutions
Yep.
would be
Perfect.
perfect.
All right. Well, I'll work on that for you after this. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll check in with you in about a week just to kind of see how things are going. And
Okay.
if you need me, just let me know.
I will. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Talk to you soon. Okay. Thanks.